G'day, it's Jenny here. Now, if you watched the last video, you watched me fill up my freezer full of frozen veggies, and today's job is to fill up my freezer with some snacks. Here in Queensland, in Australia, it is back to school time, so term 3 of our school year, which means that we've got to go back to doing homework and washing school uniforms and of course the school lunch boxes. So we're going to need lots of snacks to put into them. So it's a cold, wet, windy winter's day here. So it's going to be a perfect day to spend in the kitchen making all of this food. I'm going to just sort the kitchen out here, gather up all my ingredients. Some of them I had to buy last night, some I already had in my pantry. We're going to be making some savory muffins and some pinwheels, which we've done before, so I will link all of those videos in the description box below. While you're there, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. We're also going to be making some cupcakes and something I haven't made before, which is an apple and sour cream slice, but it sounds delicious, so I'm really keen to give that a go. So I hope you'll spend the day with me and we can cook together, but let's go and grab all of these ingredients and get started. So a while back in one of my grocery hauls, I bought these box cake mixes, and I'm going to mix those up. We're going to put them into some cupcake papers, and we might add a few extra ingredients to them, and then they will get individually wrapped for the kids' lunch boxes. So some of the things that you can add to these cake mixes, if you've just got a plain vanilla cake mix, you could add some choc chips, which are always really nice. We've got a few extra here. Another fun thing to add into a cake mix is custard powder. It gives a beautiful creamy flavour to it. You could even add maybe some fruit or even some crushed up nuts into any of your cake mixes, depending on, of course, if your family's got any allergies or problems with those types of foods. But yeah, so we're just going to use a box mix. There's nothing wrong with using pre-made items from the grocery store. It's a bit of a time saver. So we're going to get all of these mixed up and we'll start getting those through the oven. Eve's just putting some sprinkles, hundreds and thousands is what we call them here, into a container so that we can dip the cupcakes into them later. I'm going to set up my camera over here. This is my tripod for today. Yeah, I think I need a new tripod, but we're just going to set the camera on the saucepan. It does the job, so that's okay. And we will get making these cakes. So we might start with the chocolate cake, everybody's favourite. I think we'll keep these plain. So the box comes with the cake mix and the icing mixture. So super easy. We've just got to add some butter and some eggs and some milk. So too easy. Let's get this done. Now we're just going to make our life just a little bit easier here. Instead of spooning the cake mix into each of the cupcake pans, we're going to pour all the cupcake mix into a jug, and then we're just going to pour it into all of the into the papers. Just be careful when you're filling the pans not to overfill them. They will rise in the oven, and we don't want them to spill out everywhere. Make sure that your oven is preheated So ours is at fan bake, 180 degrees Celsius. So while the chocolate cupcakes are cooking, we're going to now make the lemon cupcakes. What would be really nice with this is when we go to put the icing on it. Yeah, we could zest it from some of the lemons that I pulled off my little lemon tree. Now we're going to make up the vanilla cake mix. I just asked my daughter Eve, what should we put in this one? Should we put the chopped chips or the custard powder in these? And she tells me that she can't make up her mind, we should do both. Are we game to do vanilla custard chopped chip cupcakes? That's quite a mouthful. Okay. I think we could have a go at that. Yep, so we're just going to make this up as per normal instructions on the box. We're going to add a little bit of custard powder, and then right before we're ready to put them into the papers, we will add the chopped chip. Chopped chips. The more the merrier. Isn't that our motto in life here?
Yes.
More is better. It is when it comes to chocolate. Let's fold this through, put it into a jug and pour it into the cupcake pans. Yum. I want to know if anyone else has made vanilla custard choc chip cupcakes before. Now you can check them just by seeing if they rebound nicely, or you can put a wooden skewer into them to see if they come out clean. So now that the cupcakes are done, we're going to get started on the pinwheels. Now we have made pinwheels before, and there's a full video on that with the recipe in it, so I will link that in the description box below, but go and have a look at that video. You can also find it in the recipe playlist on our channel. Let's quickly run through what we're doing here. We've got some puff pastry. You could also use phyllo pastry for this. We've got some deli ham, we've got some ricotta cheese. We're just going to use up this bag of pizza blend cheese, but you can use any grated cheese that you like, and you'll need a sauce. So I'm going to use up a few of the leftover bottles in our fridge. We've got some leftover pizza sauce, tomato sauce, sweet chili, and barbecue. Now you can add lots of other things into this recipe if you want to add pineapple or tomatoes, any kind of veggies. You could also make some sweet pinwheels by adding things like some fruit, or you could do chocolate and marshmallows. If you made a thick homemade custard, you could make custard pinwheels, but we're just going to make some savoury ones today and just do the ham and cheese. So when you're cutting up the pinwheels, it's always a good idea to leave the end one just a little bit wider, a little bit thicker, because it doesn't have as much filling in it as the center ones. And if you're putting them into the air fryer and you're worried about them losing their shape, you can always use a silicone egg ring. Now I've got the little chili ones cooking in the oven. I've got the large ones cooking in the air fryer. You can cook them in both. They're successful in both. Probably a little bit faster in the air fryer. Okay, so now that I have finished making the cupcakes and the pinwheels, I'm going to now make the savory muffins. So you can find the recipe for these in the video on our recipe playlist on the channel here. So make sure you go and check that out. I will leave the link in the description box below. I love to hear if you have tried the recipes. Some folks actually send me photos of when they've made our recipes, and I love seeing that. So let me know what you think of the recipe for the savory muffins, but I'm going to start by grating up some veggies. So we are about to ice all of the cupcakes. So we're going to start with the vanilla custard choc chip cupcakes. We thought we would just do a plain white icing and we'll put some custard powder in it. Yeah, we're going to do this. So we're just about to ice the chocolate cupcakes and we'll put some sprinkles on them. It's less messy to put the sprinkles in the bowl like this, and then you can just roll the cake into the sprinkles rather than trying to put the sprinkles on the top. You will lose a lot of them and they will go everywhere in your kitchen. All right, let's get these ones done.
See? Don't they look so cute?
Well, they do, but
I'm running out of sprinkles in my bowl.
I know, right? I would, if I were doing these, right, I would just, you know, I would just do that.
Really?
Yeah. Oh. You like to fill in all the gaps. Look. Look. Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. I yield. You can put as many sprinkles on there as you like.
Winner.
And what do you actually call them where you come from? Because here they're called hundreds and thousands.
Well, we call them sprinkles.
Yeah, we do call them sprinkles as well, but the actual name of them is hundreds and thousands. Do you have different names in different countries?
I feel like most people call them just, I don't even know.
Just
I don't think they know what they are.
sprinkles?
Sprinkles, I think they call like the other ones.
Maybe they're the little ball things or the little stick things.
Yeah, I don't really know how to describe.
Yeah.
They're kind of strange.
Now these are For the ease of people knowing what we're talking about, we're calling them sprinkles, and then labelled as sprinkles in my pantry.
Yes.
But most times we call them hundreds and thousands. You know what they're really great for? Making fairy bread.
Oh.
Fresh white bread, butter, and hundreds and thousands. So it's a sprinkle sandwich, basically.
So good.
So good.
So good.
It's an Aussie childhood party staple, isn't it?
Yes. You having a party here? You gotta have fairy bread.
Everybody makes fairy bread. That's it.
Go.
This icing looks so good. I don't know if you can hear in the background, I said earlier that it was a kind of a wet and cold winter day, but it's absolutely pouring outside, isn't it? It's just decided to bucket down. Okay, Eve is zesting the lemons for me. They will look very pretty when we're finished with them. I love the smell of lemons. And I'm even more impressed because these ones came off my little lemon tree. We're running out of space in our kitchen here because we've got all the other food cooked. We've got one more thing to do after this. That looks beautiful. So now that we've finished the cupcakes, we've finished the pinwheels, and we've made the savoury muffins, the last thing we're going to cook today is some apple and sour cream slice. Now, we've never made this before, but one of Eve's friends makes it and it is amazing, so we wanted to give it a go. Now, we've changed the original recipe slightly, so instead of using flour and coconut for the base, we're actually going to crush up some milk arrowroot biscuits with some butter and make that our base for the slice. Now, you can use fresh apples or you can use some tinned pie apples. You're going to need some butter, that's going in the base. Of course, we need the sour cream if you're making a sour cream slice. We've got some ground cinnamon, we've got some vanilla extract, and we've got some eggs. If you don't have a food processor or a blender that will turn the biscuits into a crumb, this is the way to do it. We've got a Ziploc bag, we've put the biscuits into there, and we're using a rolling pin. It's a little time consuming, but you do get a really nice crumb. So if you don't own a food processor to do that in, this is the way to do it. So to make the base, we are going to crush the milk arrowroot biscuits. Into here we're going to put some melted butter in with it, and then we also add the vanilla extract. All right, battery's flashing again. And the sun's come out. After all of that really heavy rain, the sun has come back out. I don't believe this weather. It's been absolutely crazy lately. And then you mix together the eggs, the sour cream, and you pour that over the apples on the base. You sprinkle it with the cinnamon, and then you put that into the oven to bake. Now we're going to get to making this slice, but it's almost time for the kids to come home from school. So our house is about to become very, very loud, and to save you from listening to all of that chatter, I'm going to throw some music over the rest of this footage and then show you the finished slice. And then after that, we're going to show you just how many single serves we cooked up today for our lunchbox snacks. All of these will be wrapped and popped into the freezer. So thanks for hanging out with us today in the kitchen, and let us know if you try any of the recipes. Thank you to Eve for helping me cook today, and we'll see you next time. God bless. We ended up with 210 single-serve snacks for the freezer for the kids' lunch boxes.